Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman book summary. Now, I didn't realize how classic of a book this was when I started reading it, but after I read it and then I kept reading a bunch of other books, self-help, psychology, and business, I realized that like 40 to 50% of other books mention this book and Daniel Kahneman's and Amos Tversky's studies. So it's a very classic book. It's a bit difficult to understand. Very, very well worth your time. It's in the top 20 and the link will be in the description. Let's get started. So the brain thinks in two ways. You got system 1 and system 2. System 1 is quick and intuitive thinking. System 2 is your logical, rational, slower thinking brain. And intuition is often wrong, contrary to popular belief. It can only be trusted when someone is an expert at something. It's because intuition is simply pattern recognition. And system 2, our pupils dilate as we become more focused and think harder. I thought that was an interesting fact. And in order to delay gratification, we need a strong system 2. Discipline depletes system 2 as people like thinking lazily. They like thinking with their system 1. But luckily, discipline and system 2, it's a muscle. The more discipline we have, the stronger it gets. And the priming effect. This is huge because if we see eat somewhere on an advertisement and then we see SO_P, we're much more likely to fill in soup than soap. If we saw clean, then we would see soap. So this is what advertisers do all the time. They use the priming effect for everything. It's crazy. And cognitive ease, so less strain. When you see things that rhyme, like woes unite foes, that's rated much more believable than woes unite enemies. Because when woes unite enemies, you think more of it like, is that really true? I don't know. You become more vigilant because it's more cognitive strain on you. When it rhymes, when things are bold, when things stick out more, much more likely to believe them, simply because it's easy to understand. Repetition helps the exposure effect. So the more you hear it, the more familiar and believable it becomes, as familiarity breeds liking. So someone could tell you a completely false fact. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1902. If you heard that over and over and over again, you would start to believe it. And it's just crazy, because that's what also marketers, politicians use, the exposure effect. Just repeating and repeating and repeating. Familiarity breeds liking, so then you believe it more. It's crazy. And this is like attributed to, the whole thoughts are reality type of thing. So when you say, don't spill the milk, the kid has to first imagine the milk being spilled. So that makes it much more likely that it happens. That's why, the universe doesn't know the word no or don't. If you say, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, all the universe hears and all you're imagining is this, whatever it is. I don't want to get in a car accident. All your subconscious brain hears and what you're imagining is a car accident. It makes you much more likely to get in that car accident. So instead, with this example, you should say, move the milk to the center of the table, please. Because then what happens? The child imagines moving the milk to the center of the table, and it makes it much more likely that actually happens now. And then you got the law of small numbers. This should seem very obvious to people. Small sample sizes produce extreme results. I thought it was very interesting that both the lowest and the highest cancer rates are found in tiny rural communities. Just got to watch out for those. Watch out for those small numbers. And a cheap gift added to an expensive product makes the deal less attractive. Less truly is more. And the more detail you add to a story, the less likely that it's true. Since 10 details have to be true rather than just one. So when you're trying to lie to someone, just keep it simple, I guess. You didn't hear that from me. And regression to the mean always happens. Someone does really good one time, so inevitably they'll do worse the second time and regress back to the average. And this is big, loss aversion. So we tend to weigh losses twice as much as we value gains. And so an example, if you have 5% chance to win or 95% chance to lose $100,000, it's the same deal, But when it's framed in a risk-seeking mode, 5% chance to win, people are much more likely to reject the favorable settlement. I only have 5% chance to win. But when framed in risk-averse, you have 95% chance to lose. People are more likely to take the settlement, which is interesting. So it's like this, better example, a more clear example. I give you $50. Do you want to keep 20 or lose 30? Most people say keep 20 because they value losing more. Then the framing effect. So if you're a website entrepreneur or own any type of store, if you already have the order box checked, that little action increases the orders because you're framing the person, you're putting them, oh, yeah, I already checked it. Yeah, I already want it, kind of thing. So very interesting for all you internet entrepreneurs out there. So do me a favor, guys. Think fast and think slow and think about liking this video. Think about subscribing as well. I'm posting 150 book summaries this year. It's incredible knowledge. It's going to blow your brain. And if you guys got to this part of the video, I really thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being a part of the channel. And I wish you the best on your journey to learn the most possible and become the most smartest human on the planet ever. Boom.
Hey guys, so lifelong learning and reading books is just one part of Sticky Habits University and Discipline 101. Imagine kicking all your bad habits to the curb, and imagine how successful you'd feel after implementing 10 new healthy habits. After enrolling in Discipline 101, my new course, that's how you'll feel every single day. Because it's simple. It all boils down to constantly reinventing yourself through self-discipline and healthy habits, because that maximizes your freedom and it maximizes your fulfillment. Living like this changed my life. Go check it out.